name is Katrina, and this is our Vampire the Masquerade stream. Season 2, Episode 1, Part 2, and this Season 2 is titled The Tower, a City in Peril. We left our characters in Part 1 as they were getting ready to enter the prince's manor, his domain. Chris is obviously already there, and we're going to see what happens next. So we're going to go directly into the scene with Christopher first.
I assume we more or less left off where I was with JJ in our discussions about the intricacy. So I'll assume that these Primogen coming to visit tonight with my former comrades as a grandchildren. It holds some sort of significance. I will speak when spoken to, and otherwise be the little wallflower that I am.
Keep in mind your position. You're representing the prince and his domain. I expect only the best from you, Mr. Masters.
One will endeavour not to disappoint.
Excellent. At that moment, because she has perched up and heard, the first car to arrive is Siobhan and Diana. And a big ass black BMW parks up outside Mr. Masters' estate. One of her ghouls was a driver. He walks out, he opens the door and lets Diana out first, and following her heel is Siobhan. Christopher, obviously you don't see this. As you make your way up to the estate and the entrance, Diana turns to you. I don't expect the talkings with our dear prince to involve you directly. But if, try to bite your tongue, my dear.
I'll try my best. Is there anything else you need from me?
Keep your wits about you. These are strange nights. We are all left very vulnerable. All dealings from this point on will also have an element of politics. The prince is in a delicate position. I do not wish him to get more trigger happy.
If he's anything like Ophelia, yes. No, I do hope for that.
She looks at you like, are you gonna knock? Because I have fever. I don't know.
Sure. I'll pass her and knock, ring, whatever there is. Yeah.
You see, clearly it's a house servant. Bows very respectfully when he sees Diana, and he just give gestures to peace.
Please announce Diana Price to the prince.
Of course. He walks off as you guys hear someone entering. JJ gets up immediately. Excuse me. You see JJ come around the corner. She's wearing a dark suit, shirt.
Just give her a little nod.
Miss Price, to you and my Primogen.
JJ.
I'm to request you to please join the prince in his office upstairs. This she says to your Primogen. And you, Miss Price, Mr. Master, Christopher, is waiting in the dining room. You may join him.
Thank you.
Of course. And Diana walks off.
I guess I'll look around familiar hallway as I walk towards. Where did you say he was?
Dining room.
Yeah,
So
the
in the
dining
end
room.
of the hall.
Yeah. Well, I've seen the schematics a couple of times. I think I know the layout.
And there you see Christopher. In his quite undead self.
He's probably sitting, and he stand up as immediately as he enters. Shiv. I'll walk towards her. And like hands outstretched. I won't grab her, just both hands. Like if she wishes to initiate the contact, it'll be up to her.
I'll move towards and I'll kiss your cheeks.
Very much. It's so good to see you. So good to see a familiar face. Come, sit.
Likewise, thank you. How are you?
Fine, I think. Busy, confused a bit. A bit off my footing. A bit scared as well still. Sure, the immediate threat is gone to us, but I still feel like I'm not completely out of the woods. At the same time, I feel that I'm on very thin ice with a very great depth of water beneath me. And yourself?
Well, nothing you're not used to then.
Well, I will not lie, but yes, in my line of work, has sort of accustomed oneself to a certain understanding of how games are played.
That's what you thrive on. At least that's what I remember you.
I do hope they're more to me than that, Shiv. I'll give her a squeeze on her hand. And yourself, how have you been coping?
Coping is probably the best word. Lots to get used to. I apologize for the way that I left it before.
Those are all, Shiv. Of the trios, you were certainly the one singled out for the most cruelty of this. The one who had suffered most in what happened in that respect. I mean, myself and Sean, we cannot really blame anyone else than ourselves for the position we found ourselves in. Sure, the circumstances were dramatically different from what we had envisioned, but at least we had some say in it.
Is there anyone else in the room?
No.
No. Okay.
The balls might have ears, though.
At that point, another car turns up outside the master's manor. Bob the dog. I'll wait in the car. So, is this like, I'm driving the master of the manor around.
I step outside and I wait for the...
The same with your grandsire does the same, and he walks towards the door.
I follow.
No words are passed between you guys as he knocks.
Yeah. I stand to his right, maybe 2 meters behind him.
Mere moments later, it's JJ who opens the door. And she comes in. Dinson.
JJ.
I'm requested to take you to the princess office. Diana is already there. Told to ask you, Dinson, to wait in the dining hall with the friends.
I'll show myself there.
Your grandsire just grunts, snarls a little bit, and follows her.
I go to the dining room.
I think as you enter, you're getting smushed by Shiv's hug.
Love, I missed you. I
I
gave her
missed
a
you too.
great big hug.
I missed both of you.
Dean, dearest of all my friends. And Shiv, dearest of all my
Hey!
friends. We all together. And I give her a hug. Oh, come on. You know I only have eyes for you.
This
Sit,
here,
please.
somewhat this here feels like the waiting room to the principal's office.
Yeah. And we all know that particular room very well, do we not?
Oh, yes, indeed. Also this room.
You've been
Yes, we
everywhere.
probably shouldn't
Doesn't
talk about
smell.
that too tall.
Last time I was here, I was serving drinks.
Yeah, I don't think we'll be doing that anymore. Not that kind
It's
of
odd
drinks.
because Christopher usually is like, yeah, we have to have some cannolis or coffee
Yeah.
or what. But it's like it's empty plates and empty glasses, so, and none of you have eaten food anyways. Do you?
No.
It would be weird for you to eat. You do not have that hunger.
No, it's he
Habits die hard though.
yeah, it happens that hard, and it's like he doesn't miss it because the hunger isn't there. But when he thinks of it,
Habits, yeah.
the desire for it is there. Not the physiological need for it, but the
No,
psychological.
the desire for the taste.
Yeah, to feel it again.
Mm.
I think if fire wasn't such a bad thing, Shiv would probably still twirl a Zippo and a cigarette.
Oh, she might just still twirl a cigarette because it's tactile
habits.
habit.
Yeah.
Well, I know it hasn't been that many weeks since we last saw each other, but it does feel like forever.
Feels like a lifetime. Or a death time.
Certainly. And you
So,
both.
Shiv, how are you faring?
I'm here. I think that's the best. Yeah.
You know what,
I don't
Shiv?
know.
I'm glad you're here. It's good to have you around.
Not, but it's good seeing your faces again.
Like
I
Dean
think
said.
if. Sorry.
Oh no, like Dean said,
Go on.
it's selfish of me, but I'm glad you're here. But I do wish the circumstances would have been different for you.
Me too. It's bittersweet. And I think it's going to take me a long time to get used to being called by his name.
Well, you know what? You have forever.
Yeah.
She's not into swearing. but at the minute-
No.
No, for the time being, it'll be I certainly hope you both have at least found yourself well with your grandsires.
Yeah, and memorize the traditions. First tradition, the masquerade. Second tradition, the domain. Third tradition, the progeny. Fourth tradition, the accounting. Fifth tradition, hospitality. And sixth tradition,
Is he
the
reading from his hand now?
Yes.
Yeah. I'll just take your hand and flip it like. Sean, I don't know if that's going to cut it.
No, but I need to I need to read.
And
I
and-
never was any
and-
good at this in school, so
And you really should have been a
You'll
doctor,
be fine.
at least judging
Yeah.
by your handwriting. You'll do fine, Sean. When you start talking, you have the confidence to pull this off. You remember the salient points. I'm sure we all will. Will you find?
I think
Just
we
the grandsire of a prince.
yeah.
Well,
How's
sure,
the
but-
royal life treating you?
Well, I think I have a term. Call it something more like not quite guest, not quite prison. Guest the prison. Guest is not. Wait a minute.
At least you have furniture.
Priest? Priest! Well, that actually works fine, isn't it? Never thought about that. Priest is actually half both prisoner and guest. No, but
You're insane.
no, I've It's okay, though I've not exactly gotten around or had much time to spend with the prince, my grandsire. I have barely seen him, to tell the
Seeing him
truth.
in passing, yeah.
Have any of you seen Trixie?
No, not since
No.
that night. Not since we heard the horses for the last time.
If you do, send her my way, please.
I will, though I'm fairly certain that she'll only show herself when she's good and ready. When she's a strange one, that one, but yeah. I don't believe we have met anyone that.
You hear a crash from upstairs.
Well, that can't be good. Is it a sort of crash that they don't
Collapse.
spring towards it and worse? Okay, no, more that. Yeah, no, it's not like this is World War III. You should immediately go to battle station.
No, it's, you hear something smash, crack.
Negotiations.
I
are
guess
going fine
that
ahead.
might have been my grandsire. Somewhat
Or
upset.
mine.
Yes, I mean, I'm sure the loss of Dean is hard to bear.
Yeah.
He was the only innocent in all of this.
All
I don't mean to be rude, Chris, but I don't give a shit about Ophelia. She can burn wherever she is. But Dean, someone did it to him, and that someone might be.
Yes, you feel very differently about Ophelia. You feel an intimate
yeah.
kinship. Yeah.
But I'm not gonna pick a fight with Shiv because
No.
we don't need her emotional. We all know how that turns out. We need her.
Who,
We
me?
need to-
Emotional?
We need to keep her. Well, besides, I can sort of understand her point. I mean, it's not like I give two shits about Aiden either. I mean, it's like
Yeah, no, you don't.
Like-
Couldn't give a shit about it.
I have a bit of a sympathy for Dean because he got played. I mean, he got framed for something he didn't do and sort of used as a target to. Like, he's got a bit of a more, and of course, still, Chris is still not completely convinced that Aiden was completely innocent in all this.
Neither is Shiv.
He still has a feeling that he had some plot to play, some part in some way to play in all of this.
Science points to yes.
No, our time with them were too short.
You hear very raised voices from upstairs. And a thump, like you can see the chandelier shake.
Well, it's certainly the most lively night I've had here since I came.
Have you been allowed outside?
The storytelling, like I've been told that I could. I mean, I must have fed at one point, so I must have been outside.
But you are, when you are feeding, you are being chaperoned.
Yeah, not without supervision.
JJ is the most horrible nurse ever because she is on you like a fly on shit. You feel it's like she is cramping your space, and you can't wait to get out of her.
I appreciate her, like appreciate the time she's putting into training him, but training wheels are ready to come off. And you, have you two been allowed?
Well, outside, yes, but in
Very
familiar
restricted, yeah.
places, no.
No, I've been kept away from my old life as well.
Yeah.
Which
What were your excuses?
No, I'm at an auto show in San Francisco.
I'm laying low after all that
The
happened.
lamb.
Yeah, laying low after all that happened with the Russians and all. It's best. I told them that it was best that I kept a hidden profile, as well as I talked to Salem and said it would be best if I, took a background for my little project.
Of course.
As you guys sit there, and I think Christopher forgot for a minute, the specific gentleman that enters the room again. He's also looking.
I'm sorry. These are friends of mine. This is Dean, and this is Thompson, and this is Siobhan Price.
Oh,
And I,
get up and extend a hand.
yeah. let them-
He bows. Greetings. My name is Mohammed Burhan.
Right.
Pleasure.
No, the pleasure's all mine.
do you need me for a
No.
minute?
No, not at all. I've been summoned. I need to leave.
Ah,
Well, we're not finished. We're not
It was-
finished.
no,
Miss Fairchild, she will stay here and she will take care of you. I've left her with all the information you need for your inheritance as soon as this conclave is done.
excellent.
You will do as you please with Miss Ophelia Marie's master's estate. I do wish, though, you go through it, and if you don't want to keep it, to remove any of personal items. I'm sure you will appreciate it. If not, I'm sure her grandsire or JJ will appreciate it.
I'll do so. I'll honor her inheritance and her belongings, and I will categorize personal items and make sure that anything that's suitable that should go to her sire or to JJ as well will be delivered.
There are another property. We will get through that, and there are a couple of bank accounts, but we'll go through that. I've left
Certainly.
a lot of the information with Miss Fairchild.
Once again, thank you very
I'm
much.
not wearing a hat. He's a bit like flustered. I do apologise. This is terribly rude. And
No, by all means, I completely understand. Business never sleeps.
quite right. I do apologise. I'm sure we'll see each other rather soon.
I hope so, sir.
Excuse me. Pardon,
Good evening.
Madame, sir.
And I walk with him till he exits the room. I don't follow him further, but I walk with him exits the room, and then I go back to him.
Mr. Masters. Yes. He's a bit flustered as he looks with. Did I wear a hat? No, I didn't wear a hat. Did I have a suitcase? And he's rushing out.
So inheritance then, Chris.
Yes.
More than furnitures.
I was going to say that. No, maybe
Yeah.
you can afford a couch. And
It's not like I
maybe
can afford a coat, it's just never
I
the
am
time to
having
get
a
one.
little bit trouble seeing Christopher in the palette, the tones of Ophelius.
Well, one lives and learns, eh?
I don't think
But yes,
he'll.
no, I'll
I don't think her sweaters will suit him. No.
bit tight
I
over
guess
the
we'll
shoulders,
find
you say?
out.
No, the shoulders were kind of really open.
Yeah. Cleavage is not really my thing, I'll admit that. And he gets a mental image of Vinny, and he goes like...
Too little tattoos. You need more tattoos.
As
Yeah,
you
I
guys
think
are
the
sitting there,
time
and
came and gone for
actually
that.
you're sitting there and you're bantering. I'm going to interject. You're sitting there and you're bantering, and you're feeling kind of like back to normal because like you're making fun of each other and you're making light of a very hard situation. It's like the room goes a little bit dark.
I stand up and look towards whoever just entered it.
The sheriff.
He grins as he stares at you,
Sir,
Mr. Masters.
Have
Sheriff,
I gotten
and I
the
give a
letter
bow.
back?
Yes, you have.
Okay.
Sheriff,
Duke.
Miss Price. And of course, Mr. Dukes.
Top of the morning to you, Gov.
How are you finding your existence? How are you doing with the traditions?
And I repeat the list.
The tenants.
Yes.
revising hard. It's. I assure you, we take it very seriously, and it's.
I'm so glad to hear it. You Beside him, we see two really weird looking dudes. They look like they have alopecia and some sort of herpes that nobody should have in their face. Not to say alopecia is weird or wrong in any shape, size, or form, but these guys have not been blessed in any shape, size, or form with anything. They look really bizarre, but human-esque. Not full Nosferatu.
Okay.
They're dressed in like long coats. One of them has some tough stuff here just on top that's just combed down, like very Hitlery. And the other guy has no hair whatsoever, no eyebrows, no nothing.
So,
My esteemed colleagues are here to escort you.
well,
Escort us away.
Oh my dear, you are due to a conclave.
Right.
Of course. That's of course now.
Of
Yeah.
course it is.
lead on, please. And I,
From
It
the
would
couch
be
to the frying
terribly-
pan.
Would
Well,
be terribly unfair to just give you some time. It's you're supposed to have learned by now, shouldn't you?
I thought we had forever. He says rather sarcastically.
which turned out to be Friday the 11th. And I look at the clock and recite the time.
Yeah.
You are summoned, and we will see what you are made of. Now you will follow my colleagues.
Of course.
Suddenly.
Up to it.
I'm like standing ready to leave as well. Okay.
Leaving.
Lead on.
As you're going to leave, you see
Gliding.
Diana coming stomping down.
I look at her. Trying
She,
to.
she gives you a glance up. This is outrageous. And she stares again at the sheriff. You are a dirty snake. Being summoned. No forewarning. This goddamn charade. You think so little of us. I'm just the sheriff of my primitive. I only followed the rules. One day, Duke, you might find yourself in a situation where you might need someone. You will find that you are terribly much alone. You're ready. She looks at you, Sean. I am confident in you. You are ready. This game they are playing. Be
Of
better.
course.
Let them play their games.
Smile. No tears. I'll be there. Look for me.
I'll see you when it's over.
She walks past. She gives you guys just a gentle nod. She storms off, almost like shaking in anger. He snickers almost. He's like, this is very, almost like he's entertained by this show.
Well, Chris is like, yeah, my first impression of him being a total sociopath appears to be quite real. I was going to assume that he was some sort of child who liked to enjoy pulling wings off butterflies.
Yeah.
As you are being mushed out, Sean, you see Mr. Svensson. He comes down and he just. There's a creepy anger which is cold over him.
I just give him a look and gives him a I don't care shrug. Like bring
He
it.
nods, but it's like he's in his eyes. You see something has ignited. Something that also makes you a bit like thrilled and scared at the same time because you're looking at someone so old. It's like there's something that's a bit daunting.
Yeah.
As he walks off, not giving you guys a second glance, as he just not even looking at the sheriff, he's just going. All right, tally ho, the sheriff says.
Well, they follow out wherever we're being headed like lambs to the slaughter.
As you walk out, you hear him say, "Ah, my prince, my liege. Do me the honor, may I walk with you?" That's you have been like basically hand to the back of these two Nosferatu ghouls. And it's a big ass van hearse looking thing you're being mushed into.
Really?
In the back.
Yeah, fucking really, yeah. The seats, mind you, it's a bit taller, but it's a hearse looking van thing.
So, well,
1996. It's a hearse van thing.
well, no windows. That's a plus.
Yeah, no windows.
Where are
guys
the bars?
complain.
Where are the chains? And where are the orange jumpsuits?
I don't think they need chains because, well, where are you gonna run?
Run
You
to
feel
the
very
hills,
much
the hills
ambushed
won't have you.
by this. Like you feel very like this just a dirty deed.
It's I'm analyzing it. Chris is analyzing the different possibilities behind this, like political situation of it, and he can understand a couple of motivations for this.
Of course you can, because you
Hmm.
know the game.
Yep.
It's a smart move.
Of course, it's a smart move.
It's a dickish move.
No, they're trying to dishelve us.
Yep.
I say fuck them and their law.
Yeah, and probably like it can go like it's smart in both ways because one, if they're not ready, they can have us destroy, like find us wanting and destroy us and problem solved. On the other hand, if we actually prove ourselves, it's like, yeah, well, see what they could do in some little time and solid preparation. Surely they're ready. Surely you cannot blame us for granting them a right to exist.
No, but this is a charade. They can't kill us.
Well, they can.
No, they can't. If they do,
You're having this
can.
discussion as you're
All-
driving off, but it's a good discussion, so keep at it.
Yeah.
all the clans are weakened.
They can
All our
if
three
they.
clans are weakened.
They
think
can,
you
but
know
I-
fairly well, Sean.
I
You know
don't
this
think
well
they
because
are the
it's been
ones
discussed.
making the decisions, are they? There must be more to this. More clans, more people, more kindred.
You're both kind of right. I mean, Sean is right in his analysis of the situation, but then again, if enough people with right political moves would willingly weaken the city to further their own gains, we might still be sacrificed.
The only thing that how I'm viewing is that they wanted to get rid of Dean. They wanted to get rid of Ophelia.
No, they wanted to
Or
start
at
a
least-
war.
Yes. And they
If they
already
kill us,
killed 3
yeah. If they
by
kill
proxy.
us,
And
there
if they
will be a
kill
war.
us, then our clans will be even weaker. So what more? It's the perfect ploy.
It is from an outside perspective. I don't think this threat comes from within the city.
I'm sure that the question is not whether or not the threat comes from within the city. The question is, does the threat within the city work with someone from what's outside of it? But also,
Shiv is just-
was Dean collateral or but I still believe that whoever did what behind this wanted to upset the status quo, so they could take advantage of it in some way, shape, or form. It's either that, or if we're talking about some really old personal grudges that are being settled by proxy. I mean,
Shiv can only think back to her last memories of conversation with Aiden, where he is questioning what he did, and Trixie's almost pleading with him to ask him what he did because she said he betrayed them. I'm not saying it
tell
out
this?
loud. No, I don't.
No.
But this is what goes through her. So if she's quiet, it's for a reason.
but just remember your learnings. I mean, you shouldn't be any problem, Sean. You don't sweat anymore, do you? I mean, it's not like that time in history where you had your entire creep shit floated down up on the floor and a sort of ink puddle around your chair.
I was stoned as fuck.
Yep. Best ever.
Oh, I was so stoned. So paranoid.
As this van hurries glides to the city. Do you discuss more before we get to the Elysium?
I think Chris is going to lightly touch upon, like, just to ensure that actually, I mean, yeah, Dean listed up to 6, but try to test the waters that Shiv knows her stuff as well, and sort of show that he's prepared as well. Just like conversation around that. Also, yeah.
I think Shiv is leaning on her photogenic memory and just...
I'm gonna recite the shit out of that bitch.
Maria not so much, but Shiv sure.
You got it, you used it.
No, we should probably keep our eyes and ears open to anything that might shed light on what happened to our sires. For our own safety as well.
Yeah, of course. Now we're stepping into the shoes of our sires, whether we like it or not.
We will certainly stand in the shadows and be judged with them as templates, so yes. It's only... I do fear there's only a question of time before outside elements see Boston as a right target. And if that happens, war might come.
And with this, you actually return to Boston Museum of Fine Art.
So this is Elysium. Interesting. Interesting. Well, that certainly explains why they could not do anything in it. My God, the sheer, I mean, the plan to attack Ophelia. I mean, it's elegance and its sheer simplicity.
It's brilliant. It's
Yeah.
evil.
Yeah.
Very.
Like, does it appear that both of them understands what Elysium is? Like, have they
Yeah.
both
Do
been
you?
taught? Yeah.
Yeah, you have. Does Mariana know?
Yes, Marianne knows.
Yeah, good.
Yep.
You are driven to the back, and you see there are like clearly some old doors that's been fenced off that now it's very much open.
Remember why we didn't pick those for our egress points?
Because they weren't marked.
Exactly. And I went
Exactly.
closed. And shaved
I
off
mean,
and heading away.
and I thought I knew every entrance and exit of this building.
And it's clear that it takes you down to almost like an old catacombic build. This is older than the building on top. It's big halls, like almost like catacombs. When Nosferatu's love to have their Elysiums. There's beauty on top and it's dark and dingy and nasty underneath. Where they feel they should be.
Well, I'm getting a Paul Revere moment.
There are old gaslight lanterns in the brick columns, like the vaulted columns and the vaulted ceiling. There are quite a few Canaanites in here. You get the distinct feeling that this is not a place where you bust out a move. This is not a place where you decide to dominate, presence, or respect anyone. Even the Nosferatus will not use obfuscate. You will see them in their true form. What's and all. It's like these two looms like pointing for you to stand to the side.
Assume the position. I'll stand. Chris will stand straight, keeping his back straight. He'll look confident. Like time to not threatening, but to take follow contact to make sure like I'm here
Yeah.
in mini business.
The room is large. In the end, it's almost like a circular. It's almost like not a pit, but it goes down a little bit. And the opposite of that, you see there is a big, almost like an altar, but clearly is there for someone to sit and judge whoever is beneath. There are different faces here you've never seen before. Familiar faces you definitely have seen before. As you're almost pushed to the side and told, you stand pretty and wait.
Chris is gonna try to get a head count, like how many different faces does he see? How many different entities are here?
Wow.
You don't have to give me a complete answer. Like I
I'm
don't.
not going to get very talented, but you're getting a feel that a bell has been rung and a summoning has been sent. And this is not like show up if you feel like it. This is like you get your freaking ass to this thing because this is
important matters are to be discussed.
Yeah, it's a summoning.
How many are we talking about?
30?
Sounds about right. Given the size of Boston metropolitan area in 1996, it would certainly accommodate 30 vampires. Probably a couple of more as well, like just shy of 40
hidden, unknown. Yeah, these are just the Camarilla ones. It's like you can have an affiliated, you can have nomads. I'm saying it's this is a faction. This is Camarilla. This is not all vampire society. This is Camarilla.
Yep. And as we have learned, there are more things between heaven and hell than just vampires.
Horatio.
As
you stand there, you see Diana.
I look straight at her.
She pins up her veil. She keeps your eye contact as she goes up to this table altar and takes her position.
Just give her a slight nod like it'll be fine.
You see Alexander and Bella. Bella has big ass horn glasses. She's got the very sharp bob. She adores the vampire aesthetic. That's her thing.
Right.
She performs in clubs as a night queen. As a human pretending to be a vampire.
Mm-hmm. Singing or?
Yeah, singing. She has a show. She also has a radio program. For night ghouls.
Yeah, of course.
She's holding on to Alexander with a very worried look. And he's patting her hand here you're getting to feel like he's comforting. Sean, you see your tribe. On the opposite. Almost swaying in with each other, just snarling and looking around. Besides them, you don't know them. You see a Hispanic woman. Tattooed. She's standing quite tall. Rather muscular. He sniffs the air and he talks to a guy beside her. A black fellow. He's also tattooed and he's just grinning and they're almost like they're laughing. But they're also talking to Mirelle and Bob. And then you see also the Nosferatu. From across the room, it's you can feel it in your blood that something really old is in the room. A veiled creature that you cannot see the face. There's almost like a crown. He's been guided and held. by two other fray-looking things. That probably is actually ghouls, not Nosferatus. And she's placed almost at the head of the table, like in the center.
Can I see Trixie here?
Not too long after that, you see two. It's got an African American, but they are albinos. That has to be Anton and Amber, because they walk in unison. They gaze the room. They talking with their gaze. And then you see Trixie running from the side. Almost like jumping up and down in front of them.
But of course.
They seem to have a conversation, primarily with nodding. And then Anton and Amber gaze in the room, see you, and then go up and sit at their place. Trixie, on the other hand, looks directly at you three. Big eyes. Looks down, almost shameful. And she teeters off, almost like a beaten puppy.
I so want to go to her.
She's all alone. The banker, Mohammed Ban, he's there.
Is he within a particular group or is he standing off to the side?
He's standing there with JJ. They are talking amongst themselves. In the center of the room, almost walking in circles, in a very weird-looking Victorian dress, can be nobody else than Odd Molly. She looked like somebody dragged their fingers through her face. She's lined and she's grey and she is terribly mangled. Very much on Nosferatu's true face. A face only a mother could love. The gift of their transformation. That's not the only response. You see the sheriff standing to the side. Well, you think it is, but now you see his true face. And that is just a terrifying, skull-like thing. Fangs, sunken in eyes that look dead. Hair just in tatters from his skull. He looks like an abomination. He looks like he'd been watered too long and then dried in the sun. I don't think anybody could love that face.
Chris, like, not wanting to judge a book by its cover, but like going on obvious knowledge of clan weaknesses, is going to try to keep a head count on how many potential Nosferatus he can see in the room to get a. And he knows it's the largest clan, but he wants to try to put a number on it, to gauge the sort of strength relations here that are in just sheer head numbers. You don't have to give me a complete answer. That's fine.
You see two other. One that has almost like a crow-like appearance. Like his nose is too long; it dips way over his lips. If he had much of an overlip, doesn't he really have much lips at all? Like his hair goes back almost like feather-like. Looks like it goes down. They dress quite nice, but dress like lurchers. They dress in black and cloaked because their bodies are so disfigured. That creature is talking to somebody that almost looked like she took styling tips from Queen Elizabeth. Or Queen Victoria. Yeah, Queen Elizabeth. Henry VIII's daughter is Elizabeth, right? Yeah. The face is extremely white, and the hairline is there, and then up in a grey thing. And there's hardly any nose, and there's hardly any like eyebrows or anything. And it's like almost like dabbed something in the cheeks to make it look more. It looks like an old white shoe.
Nice.
The dress is more modern. It's more Cruella de Vil. Gown-like, with gloves. And they are in discussion. As they stare out in the room. Right before you think nobody else is going to come, you see an Asian fellow in a deep red suit and a white shirt. Puts a pen in his coat, because it's suit. Hair to his shoulders. He nods to you three, very respectfully.
I respectfully nod back.
He goes and sits at the table. Katarina goes and sits at the table. All the primogens from the different clans go and sit at the table. And then the prince enters the room. He walks in, he doesn't give you guys even a glance. And he sits beside the Black Lily. The room falls quiet. All the little whispers and snickers or talks die down. The creature named Oddmolly enters the center, in front of the primogens and the prince. She claps her hand hard and it echoes, almost hurts your ears for a minute. And if there was any more talks and whispers, it absolutely dies down. Almost a whisper than a voice emanates from her husk. The prince had called a conclave. Our elders and primogens are to judge these three worthy of entering canine society. It will be up to their judgment to deem them worthy or not. To speak against them is the Black Duke, our sheriff. They must answer for themselves. She turns towards you three. You feel all of the room turns towards you three. You feel eyes from very undead and somewhat old creatures look upon you. Intrigued, suspicious. Maybe pure hate. Compassion, who knows? It's complicated. Her whisper carried, her voice as whispers carried through the catacomb. Who will do the deed first? Who will speak?
I think I'd take a step forward first.
You hear a holler and a hoot, but not from your clan. You hear it from the Bruja. Like a wahoo.
I go into the middle of that.
You see Odd Molly, you see Odd Molly turns towards them. And almost like she walks towards them and they like...
Put my hands out to the side. Bring it.
You see the two albino twins. So you understand them to be the Malka primitive. And they speak in unison. You are the child of someone that broke our laws and had a blood hunt laid upon him. How are you worthy of the gift you are given? Do you know anything about being what we are?
Let me answer that with a tale of how I came to be. Because the tale, it starts in this very building, a few floors up. My friends and I, we are a part of, you may call it a criminal organization. But in this particular situation, we had we got paid more as criminals, mercenaries, security for the late Miss Masters. We were to steal a painting from the opening of an exhibition. It later proved that this painting was a painting of Miss Masters herself.
You hear whispers around you.
So, in that way, we saved Miss Masters from the first law of your traditions. This painting was, and I look at Shiv, how old?
1820.
So somebody put this painting into your own Elysium.
You hear someone whisper, "Sacrilege!"
To show to the whole world the age of Miss Masters. Or at least give the impression that she is a lot older than she appeared to be. This was quite clear attack on Miss Masters. Dean Thompson knew this, and he hired us within this already paid job to protect Miss Masters, because he knew that there would be attacking her. Not inside, because that would be a breach on your laws, but right outside. We got her away. We got Dean away. Then we ran into hunters. Dean called them.
You're hissing around you.
Incapacitated Miss Masters and running off with Dean. But we got Miss Masters away and into a safe place. At this point, Miss Masters hired us to rescue Dean. We got some help from some people in our organization, and we did just that. Eliminating some of these hunters. Saving Dean. I myself should have been killed in that mission. But Dean saved me and made me his ghoul at that point. And it was at this point Dean started to put me on the path of becoming kindred. Other stuff happened, and we got closer acquainted with our three sires. I can only speak for myself in this, and I can say that Dean Thompson was a man of honor. He on more than one occasion stood up for me and mine, putting his life on the line. Just before this shite happened, that people say that Dean was supposed to be a part of.
Then you hear lies shouting. He didn't do it. You hear lies.
I don't believe he did it. I believe it's the same people who placed the painting of Miss Masters inside this very Elysium.
You hear it speaking erupts around you. You see even the Primogens are talking amongst themselves, like, what is this? This is outrageous, this is scandalous, he's talking about treason. And again, you see Odd Molly claps her hands so hard. Everybody's like taking themselves to the ears, except for the Black Lily. Don't think she has ears. Who knows? Come. We are not to discuss treason.
Right until the end, they treated us fairly as up and coming. How do you say it? They prepared us to walk in their shoes.
And you see the Primogen, because they interrupt, Catalina from Brunha. You know our traditions, Sean Denison.
I know your traditions.
Do you pledge to follow them and respect the Camarilla?
Of course I do. In the same way Dean did. On my honor it is.
Sure. I need nothing else. I think you should enter our society.
I will fight for your society the same way Dean did. I would fight with the same ferocity he fought for his loved one. Until the end. When he was preparing to go out and kiss the sunlight, he begged for Miss Masters not to follow. He begged on his hands and knees. He didn't take her with him. They went together.
You see the prince has been sitting like this.
And it pained him, the choice she made.
I've heard enough. He looks at the end, at both ends of the table.
I take a step back.
We see Odd Molly again. Who will plead their case next?
I'll step forward. Walk into the pit. Look up towards the prince first. My prince. Keeper of the Elysium. I look over to Odd Molly. Primogen. Look at all individual Primogen. Sheriff. I look towards him.
He smirks. Well, if you can't see it was like if your skull can smile.
All other kindred. I gesture to the room.
You hear whispers and like rustles in fabric as you do so. Almost like they're leaning in.
I was born Christopher Falconer, and I stand before you as the claimed prodigy of Ophelia Masters, child of the Prince Western Masters. I am aware of the special circumstances involved in our creation and in the tragic events that followed. I will not repeat the story that Dean Thompson, Sean Deanson told. You have been told and heard those facts. What I will do is talk about the 6 traditions. Number 1 was one that Sean touched upon. It was the important one. The masquerade. Thou shalt not reveal thy true nature to those not of the blood. Doing such shall renounce thy claims of blood. Oh.
You hear him like nodding in the hall. Here.
Our kind's existence hinges upon ability to walk hidden among mortal society. We were groomed, chosen by our sires. And when they did so, they spent time vetting us, preparing us, but also laying bonds upon our memory to ensure that we would not be able to betray you or to expose their true identity. Their, for a lack of better term, recruitment process did involve honoring this tradition. And it's important to note that this is not only about showing our true nature by being undying, such as the painting of Miss Masters would have done. It also bears upon our acting and our conduct amongst mortals, to not unceremoniously use our powers in ways that betray our true nature. And I assure you that I and my companions all will honor this tradition. We understand not only its importance, but also its utmost necessity in this matter of not only our personal, but our collective survival. When it comes to the second tradition, the domain, one must show it respect, not only by presenting oneself to the prince of a city, but also to respect all your domains within the city. I come from a family, from a background that understand this matter, and as well as a tradition of masquerade, the matter perfectly. Respect and silence, 2 cornerstones to ensure peace, stability for our kind. And now to the third tradition, the progeny. The very reason we stand here today. Thou shalt only sire prodigy with the express permission of thine elder. But the prince. Sean talks about Dean and Ophelia's arguing about following him to death. Dean knew the charges laid upon him, and he knew what the law would demand, even though, as Sean says, and as I've been voiced here before, the charges would ultimately be proven false, that he was innocent.
You hear, then there's different sides erupt.
But whether or not he was innocent or not did not matter. He understood the price that must be paid and was willing to pay it. That is why he walked into the sun. He accepted the judgment, he accepted the law, even though it might strike unfairly from time to time in the particulars of one's crimes or not. He put your society, the existence of our kind, before his own, and walked into the sun to ensure that the tradition of the masquerade would not be broken, and that the tradition of punishment be honored, in the sense that his destruction had been decreed. This was too much pain for Ophelia to bear, and she chose to follow her love into the sun. These two elements are what triggered the unfortunate circumstances of our embrace. But can anyone here possibly object that if these extraordinary circumstances had not been present, that the chosen prodigy of Miss Masters, of Mr. Price, of Mr. Thompson, would have been denied if asked for?
You see the prince is quiet for a minute, but then you see the Tremere leans ahead. You state a very good case, Mr. Masters. It's reflected and somewhat studied. I appreciate that. And you just have a point. The sentence of Dean Thompson was fulfilled. It clearly states also that Mr. Masters understands the ramifications of our laws. You do not have to agree to them, you have to abide by them. I will state clearly, before we counsel, I have no issues with either the two gentlemen who have stated their case entering the Canaanite and the Camarilla society. I think they understand perfectly the ramification of stepping on a line, what will occur and happen at the full extent of our law if doing so. I am content. You hear some say, "Hear, hear," and other like snark and hiss.
I'll give it a few seconds to see if anyone else wishes to speak, or if I'm being dismissed, and then...
You just see Odd Molly, it's like, "You may step back."
Thank you, madame. And I'll step back. And I'll flash... there's the briefest of encouraging look towards Shiv.
I'll meet his eyes and I'll step into the ring.
The room goes very quiet.
Keeper of Elysium, Prince, Sheriff and all primogenites, I stand before you, not Siobhan York, but Siobhan Price. I will not tell the tale of why we are here, and I will not repeat your laws. but I am here to answer any questions you may have, to prove that I will abide by them. I will follow and honor them. My life is in your hands.
You see the prince moves and shifts a bit. Is there anything more you know about your sire's doings that you have not disclosed to the sheriff or us, leading up to these tragic events?
Fortunately, I do not. Nothing more than that I loved him, that he, I think, loved me, but we did not have the conversations. We did not take on any journey together for this life. I was not groomed or was being ready to be presented to Diana Price. I stand here because you broke that rule and you broke your trust. Nothing else.
You see Diana leans ahead, almost snarling at the prince. You question the way my clan chooses their love and progeny. What would you presume? You know better. We do not follow the same traditions and paths. All three have been claimed differently. Can anyone say, she looks down the table, that you choose and court your children in the same manner? Please, the Nosferatu would do the same as a Torador. Ridiculousness. She was chosen for love. He claimed her. It's good enough for me and it should be good enough for the rest of you. This is a charade. She leans back.
I think I'm looking down because I feel like I've betrayed her in a manner.
Why?
Just because of talking down about Aiden and breaking her trust.
No, but it's fair. It's that's what happened. You see the Tremere. Your voice is different than the two men. I'm not particularly interested in the hows and the whys. I'm only interested if you will abide by the laws. And you know your traditions.
I do, and I swear by them.
And you will honor your house and the bloodline you follow.
Of
Yes
course.
or no?
Of course. Always.
Again, I think she knows probably better than the other two the ramifications that happens if you break the law. I think none of us knows it better than them three, he says, puts his hands up. Who of us can say they have experienced the same? In a sense, they've been through a sentencing by our laws before they were a part of our society. I am content, Miss Price. You will have no more questions from me. As a prince, he looks down the table. Well, if all the primogens are satisfied, we will discuss. When we are ready and finished, you will know. They get up and they leave the table and disappear into a darker path of the catacomb.
I think I'll just still stand there.
Alexander
go over to her
comes
and
running
put my
to
hand
you.
on her shoulder and just to make sure that she's not completely falling apart again.
No, I'll quickly just like gather myself and
You're badass.
Chris is gonna flash approving nod to Shiv.
Ballsy move.
I'll look at the both of them and then I'll move over to Alexander.
He's just standing there. Okay, good job, well done. Now this will be part of the sheriff speaking against you. Which isn't good. But you have the support of the Tremere and obviously your own, with Diana. It's a good thing.
How much weight does his vote carry?
Don't think about it, sweetheart. Darling, don't worry.
I think if he knows that I'm just fiddling with the necklace. Holding it very tight.
As you two boys stand there, you feel a very familiar presence bobbing around you.
I turn around.
She says. Really? Oh, she jumps in.
Bring it.
No, she jumps in and she like
I give her a
holds on
hug.
for dear life.
Ah,
I'm sorry. You
you have nothing to be
so
sorry for about
sorry.
Trixie. We have missed you. Come.
Really? You don't hate me?
How could
You
anyone
can't
hate you,
hate
Trixie?
your family now.
But I did the bad thing. I didn't mean it.
What
You did
bad
what had
did
to
you
be
do?
done.
I had to put half of you in a box for a minute.
Yeah, I know
We
why.
would probably not have been alive if you had not done that, Trixie. It probably saved our lives.
Yeah, most definitely.
It's not nice to mess with your friends' grace thingies. You know.
No,
No, but
it's
I
not nice-
mess with
not
him
nice
with
of
his noggin every time I get the opportunity.
it's not nice to mess, but you didn't mess. You protected us. You helped us. We owe you, if anything.
It's true.
Is she's so sad, so mad.
Go give her a hug.
She's asked about you.
She lets go and she shuffles over to Shiv as she stands with Alexander, and he's like, okay. And he looks at Trixie, but right. He's staring. You know this? You know Trixie?
Yes.
Do you
Little
want me to give you a
sister.
minute?
Yeah.
I'll be right over there with Bella.
Thank you.
He
I'll
stands
just-
there twiddling her thumbs like, you mad?
I'm just pulling her close.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You did what you had to. It's okay.
I didn't mean to do that.
I don't think it was you who were bad, Trixie.
Who was bad?
I think that's something for another time, in another place, not here. Not now.
Oh yeah, because the grown-ups are talking.
Yes, exactly.
They look very serious.
Yes, they are.
Are they gonna take away your toys? She
If
looks
I
really
ha-
small, like she's 12
Yeah.
at the minute.
I've saved your glass.
Really?
Yes. So
Oh, can I come over and get it? Can we have bubbles? Can we?
when this
can I do
is over
something?
and done with, I think
Can we go out? Can we have fun? Can we go swim in the moonlight?
if that's what you want, sure.
Yes. We can look for sharks and dolphins and turtles.
Yeah, you like dolphins, don't you?
Yes.
I think at one time we're going to have a longer conversation about this, Trixie.
About what? She looks around.
I'm still just holding the necklace.
She's just looking around like, oh, they're so noisy. They talk all the time. Can you hear them? It's very weird in here. I don't feel quite myself. It's very bizarre. I don't like
Yeah,
it.
it's better to
weird.
go. I don't know. Have fun,
I don't
Trixie.
come here. I only come here when I have to. I don't like the others. The others are old and weird, and they do weird things, and I don't like it.
Where are you staying now? Last time I saw you, you were staying at.
I'm staying with Cal.
Can you point? Is he here?
No, he's not one of them.
Are you safe?
Yes, Cal is very. Oh, he asks us a lot of questions. He's very curious about things.
And where is this?
Oh, it's underneath.
But not here.
No, no, silly. That would be strange.
Right. I think terminology of
Cal
strange.
hears horses too,
not
and he
of it.
sees through the looking glass, and he is also sometimes on the other side. That's where I met him first time. I was on the other side, and then he came and we saw, and then he followed the horses at the same place I did to the deep dark underground with a scary man does. I don't think
Right.
I'm okay. She
Right.
turns on her heels. You just
Trixie,
say,
do you have? How do I reach you?
I find it.
Okay.
Call Trixie on your phone. Says it. It's almost like electric, like she's shaking as she moves.
Mm-hmm. But she went away, right?
Yeah. She's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
she's like, singing. It's like, oh, I don't like it in here. It's strange.
Really fucking want to talk to her.
I know you do. You hear Molly all of a sudden say, "You're free, do." They are done.
I look toward.
Ready for your sentencing. But first, clear the shower. He glides into the room. Horrifying looking. It's mind-boggling cool how fucked up he looks. He also speaks with a like, because he has no lips. If he has a tongue, who the heck knows? Like, how the hell does he speak? It just words emanate from a skull. My judgment is, I firmly believe that on some level, by them even existing, they are a threat to the traditions, because the laws weren't followed. The prince was not asked. They are forgiven in retrospect. Are we no better than the Onyx, the claw at our doorsteps? What do we know? They are not groomed and born into our society according to traditions they might follow suit to the ones that we call enemy. Letting them join our society I deem risky. I deem dangerous. If not take their lives, cast them out of the city. That is my advice to these councils of Prince and Trinity. He looks at you three, cocks his head and steps back. Moments later, the prince stands up. I will not disclose who ordered for what. From this day on, we want order and we want our city to heal. There will be no more animosity and there will be no more feuding. The council, the prince and the primogen are in agreement that you understand the traditions, even though how you were created are not according to law. This deemed the ones that broke the law have already met their final death, and in so cleansing you of any burden of your making. But if you in any shape, size and form break any of the traditions, there will be no mercy found. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes, my prince. No mercy will be asked for.
Then welcome, as kindreds, to the Commonwealth.
Christopher will bow deeply, like check the knee for the prince. Thank you, my prince. I am yours to command in all things.
You are now freed of the bounds of your mentor's house arrest. This does not mean that you are free to do as you please. You will still have mentors to guide you and keep you. But you may return to the masquerade of keeping up your appearances. That will be all. He sits down.
I nod and give him a cheers go.
You see that Odd Molly again. The conclave is done. The summoning is over. You all may leave. You hear some hooting and howling from the Brewhunter Gango.
I'll look around and see if I can see JJ.
She comes like with intent towards you. And she embraces you, not very feminine. She just pats your back. It's like, good job.
Oh, thank you. I could not have done it without your tutelage.
I know I've been babysitting you and basically sitting on top of you, but that's my job.
You have given me the tools that I will need to survive, and I am thankful.
I'm not done with you. Pretty much.
Oh, I believe we still have a lot to learn.
But for now, if you feel safe to return, I'll give you like a couple nights off.
Thank you. I could need a night or two, and after that, perhaps we could meet at Miss Master's home. I believe we should go through it.
You
And Darth-
have Bahan and the inheritance and everything that also needs doing. But I can wait
Okay.
for a minute. Do you want Miss Fairchild to set up shop in Ophelia Marie Masters'
I
manor?
believe that would be best. I do not. The wounds are too fresh that I do not wish to settle there now. It would seem not right at this time, and
All
I
right.
serve to remind her. But like I said, I do believe once this inheritance business has been settled, that you and I should go through her possession in the manor as well. Undoubtedly, there are keepsakes that should go to both you and to her sire, and you could probably help me determining these.
Of course. Listen, also. I'll make the arrangements and make sure everything goes smoothly.
Thank you.
She was like, I want to babysit you some more, but I'm going to let you go.
It's fine. It's one of the persons that's it's one of the vampires that Chris trusts the motivation to. So he's comfortable with that. Though though he's ready to have the training wheel taken off, of course. But yeah, you're gonna need alliances. So I thank her once more, and then she probably wanders off.
Yeah, she goes and meets the prince.
I'm thinking I'm heading towards Muriel.
The prince actually now stops with you, Christopher.
My prince, and I show him deference and honor.
Grandson.
You honor me.
There will be a memorial for Ophelia. 2 nights from now.
I will be there.
He nods. Then he walks off. JJ and he.
Such warmth.
Oh, he loves you.
Oh yeah.
He's into it.
Constant reminder of the circumstance of his childless death. That's gonna be fun.
Yeah, you're awesome. He loves you. Diana comes down to Siobhan. She lifts your gaze to her. The hard part is over.
Somehow I still feel like I let you down.
You couldn't. Not at all. I see him in you.
Not too much, I hope.
Don't think so little of him.
I think right now I'm just so furious with him. But I want to know more. I want to see the other side. The side that I loved.
And through that you will find healing. Now, as our dear prince said, you need a holiday from your gilded cage. If you please, I would like Alexander to keep in touch with you every night.
I think I would need that.
I don't think your house is suitable for our kind. She grabs your hand and she puts some keys in it. It might be hard, but sometimes you just have to tear off a band-aid. This is a safe place.
Actually, that is the place I want to go, so thank you.
It is yours. And in time, you'll do with it as you please. Paint it pink for all I care. Yes.
Not sure that's entirely in his taste or memory, but we'll
She
see.
looks at you. Well, he is not here any longer. The dead don't feel shit, she said. They're dead.
Would you
You grab
mind
the
if I
knife.
asked your advice for this
Cool.
later?
Cool.
Thank you.
Oh, it's cool. Again, she points at Alexander. He use them as you please.
I smile towards Alexander and give him a little.
He's like, yes, my leash, yes, my leash. And then she's like, she looks at him. Sometimes he doesn't know it plays, but he's a fun thing to keep around. Play with him nicely. I want him back
I'll
in
try.
somewhat whole piece. To Sean, you see Muriel comes over. And you see one of the Brujas. The big black fellow. He puts his arm around you. You're a storyteller, man.
Yeah, I guess it's in the blood.
You put them fuddy-duddies in their freaking place.
I only told the truth.
Such a refreshing thing. They think they can just poke their noses at us and just piss downwards. Like their shit don't stink if they shat.
Oh, their shit stinks. But
Yeah, and it stinks.
yeah, the
Then
whole
Muriel
circumstance stinks.
Yeah, you see Maria look at him. John, not here. Not here. And he's like, no, calm down. Not here. Or no, not here, not here. We'll talk soon.
Of course we'll do.
It's a change in the wind, he says. You hear that, Muriel? Sweetness. There's a change in the wind. And she's like, we're in Elysium. She taps your shoulder and, good job, Sean.
Thank you.
I am so relieved. No, you are free at the minute, as well.
That's good to hear. I think I have some business that needs to be taken care of.
Of course. You have my number. You call it any time.
Of course. And feel
You will
free
have
to
obligations.
drop by.
Yeah, you have obligations to the family, but now you don't want to cuff a beast. Run, be free for a minute.
But you
I
know
will
where
find a
to
way.
find me.
The same, she says. She gives you a shoulder bump. And many more nights to come. The Elysium is emptying slowly, except for a few. Yeah?
If there's a possibility where, at the time where Diana Price seems to be leaving, Christopher would like to carefully and inconspicuously position himself in a place where he may bag a word.
Well, after she's talked to her grandchild, the nicest of your grandsires, because she is. She walks out, and then you can.
Yeah, because I got playing task, but that's what she can do. So I'm gonna stand and close to the exit part, and when she passes, I'm gonna. Primogen, may I have a word, please?
Mr. Monk.
I would only like to thank you for the kind words you spoke on behalf of my friend Siobhan. It warmed my heart.
Good for you. Presumptuous. You think that concerns me in some matter or form?
No, it's just that, as a dear friend of mine, I worry that she might not completely want to take in on herself the actions that Mr. Price did for her. It is without a doubt in my mind that he, through his actions, saved her life and did so out of love for her. But I fear she might struggle with accepting or acknowledging this.
I appreciate your concern, Mr. Masters. You shouldn't have so little faith in Shiv's capability to rise from the ashes like a phoenix.
Oh, I do not doubt that.
There's fewer things that are as powerful as a woman scorned. You will find her a different beast these nights than
Sure
the
I
human
would.
Shiv you knew. As you are a different beast, Mr. Master. She's always like she's like placing yourself in such beneficial positions.
I am here to
Do you want to fall in my good graces, Christopher? She looks at you.
Well, I certainly would not wish to fall in your bad graces,
Mm-hmm.
Primogen.
Make yourself useful.
I will. One might say it's my forte.
Is that good evening? Sarcasm drips off her as she leaves.
But I got my answer.
I go outside.
Fresh air, and you're free. It's like somebody took off your collar, because you'd be like, I want to do what I want to do, and I want to do it now. The night again feels like you remembered it in the beginning. You can smell the leaves, you can smell the cars, the car tire, the gravel. It all just seeps through you.
Oh, the night is beautiful.
And I want a rush check. Because I just want one. Because it's been stressful.
Everyone there, yeah.
Yep. You spend a lot of energy on that, baby.
6.
I'm guessing this is... Oh. Sorry.
That's a 10.
6.
My god, everybody's just acing their rush.
Yeah,
Well, I
unlike
spent,
the first
I
night.
spent all of last season with 3 in hunger, so I've learned to calm the beast.
I feel sorry for the person you fed on the first time.
Yeah.
You're standing there. Are the rest of you entering the night?
Yeah, I mean the
Free.
place is emptying after
Yeah.
I have gauged the corridor Primogen. I'll leave. Don't have any.
Yeah, you see the tremor on the way out. Good luck to you, Mr. Masters. I'm sure you will be successful in any endeavor.
Thank you very much,
Yes.
Primogen. You honor me. And as he leaves, Christopher thinks, I trust him about as far as I could throw the little terrier weight of the people gathered here today. And then he enters the night.
You see Sean stands there. Shiv, what do you do in the meantime? Give me 2 seconds, please.
I've probably... If I can't find Alexander, I'll probably walk out alone. Yeah.
You see them first before you see him.
I'll walk up to Sean and put a hand on his shoulder.
Smells
I'll-
different.
Ah, the tail weaver.
Right.
You did good. You did good. You might have tipped a tad much of our hand to our enemies, but they probably understood that we had sniffed some of it out.
Yeah.
And as you say that, you both get split up, but with Shiv's hands between
Ah,
both.
put my hand around her shoulder, like around her, yeah, like just around, underneath her shoulder, so like not over shoulder, like the good old
Yeah.
3 people walking in arms in arms.
So, where do you go for drinks now?
Got some
Got some keys.
my place.
I can go to your place. Though I do believe that getting a single place for all of us to quench our thirst would be even harder now than it was before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But let's go to your place, Shiv. It will be good to spend some time with you two again. Well, not to mention with this burden off our backs for the moment. Take your car.
Because they don't drink, Jesus.
No, they don't. As the 3 amigos, the camera will pan out as they survive their conclave and have now been initiated into kindred society and Kamala, and are now free to enjoy their nights for a minute. The camera pans out a little bit later in the night. In a very nice apartment, in a bedroom where a sketch hangs. Someone sits on the bed and stares at it. Eyes are big as pools of water. When do you think she'll see it? Shh! I know. I think she needs to see it. She'll be happier when she sees it. When she smiles. And that is the end of part 2 of episode.
Give me Trixie now. Oh my god.
I was half expecting the nightmare creature from the Hunter season.
Oh.
Just you wait and see.
We
just begun.
The fake queen.
So she lives with Cal now.
Well, it seems like a sound and sensible arrangement.
I don't know
Nothing bad could possibly come of
who's
that.
the most crazy.
Oh, of those? No.
Well, the only vampire Cal would never kill is her. Everybody else is.
Fair game.
And it's also good to have a little view into what the fuck the bad guys are doing.
Yeah, of course.
You know.
Hey. Cal, bad guy. Come on. It's such a little...
No. It's Cal wanting to have a view with the other bad, like Christopher the bad guy is doing.
Oh yeah, like let's make no mistake about that. He's awesome.
You're such a schemer.
He's such a schemer.
Yeah.
I've made some interesting notes.
Into them and just
This is
dribble
the
little
problem.
words into this Primogen's air.
Yeah, but this is the problem when you have good GMs and storytellers as players.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He schemes. Oh, and I know what he's doing. I'm
Yeah. Well, you haven't played with played a long campaign with Tarja as a storyteller. His
Oh my God.
his
Patience,
plots are
motherfucker.
just as interwoven as yours
Got
are.
a little taste with the Cthulhu one, but
Yeah.
it definitely needs.
Yeah, but
more
I
at
can
some
second
point.
see what he's doing. So I'm like, I'm moving pieces as he's moving pieces. I'm going to move that over there. Now. I'm going to.
Yeah.
I'm again in a deadly game of chess with the storyteller. This is not
So,
going to end well.
Mariana, while they two are playing chess, what are we going to play?
I'm just going to continue
just
crying. It's the best thing I know.
So they'll be playing chess, you'll be crying, and I'll be playing guitar.
Seems about right.
It's all right. All right. I know the first episode is a lot of vampire stuff. It needs doing. A lot of introductions, NPCs, good stuff.
A lot of new faces.
But I think I needed to have not be emotionally drained and fucked with for one episode. So thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Calm before the storm. That's my view of this.
Oh yeah. I'm like,
know the gym.
I want to do this. I want to do this, but I have to wait because they have to get into society. And now we're doing the thing.
Can't wait till next week.
Yeah.
Same. Thank you guys, players. You're kick-ass. You're awesome. It's fun. You just jump into everything that I throw at you, and you like the abuse. I'm into it. And for all
thank
you
you.
guys, yes, I am the same.
Maybe have more.
Yes, mistress.
Yeah. But what about second episode?
Second episode, we'll see what happens then. And anyways, please like, follow, comment.
Yeah.
Thanks so much for the
If you have
support,
questions, just post them and we'll
pop them.
we'll collect them. The questions and the posts.
And yes. And if you like what we're doing now, splitting up the episodes, let us know. If you find that they are too short and you want them longer again, we'll definitely have a look at it. Besides that,
No, we just want you to wait. We love
Yes.
to have you wait.
our dicks.
Yeah.
Say this. Grr.
I mean, if it hadn't been for we wanted to play so much again, we'd make you wait half a year for season 2.
Yeah.
Oh,
But we couldn't wait.
we couldn't do it.
Yeah.
Alright. Stay safe. Wear a mask. Don't drink hand sanitizer because that would be bad. And bye.
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 Ta-da!
Hallå.
Ha det på båda.
Senare.
Gamla choklad.